Welcome everybody. I'm Marilee Burnett, your tarot reader and astrologer, back with the astrology lesson for the week of December 11th, 2023, and it is a jam-packed week. So expect there to be a lot of busyness in your life as well. If this is the first time you are coming here, please remember to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that subscribe button. Give me a like and a big thumbs up, and please share my channel and information with those that you think can benefit from it. I have a few slots left for my Black Friday special. Go ahead and take a look at that. If you take a look at the information down below, there will be links there for you. Starting off the week with Monday, you'll notice that we have these beautiful blue lines connecting Venus, who is in Scorpio, with Mercury that is in Capricorn and stationing to go retrograde. So whatever this conversation is on Monday, it's something that you will spend time contemplating over the next several weeks. So really pay attention to your thoughts, because Mercury's your thoughts. This is something that could be financial in nature, because Mercury in Capricorn rules business and making money. And of course, Venus also rules money, being the ruler of Taurus. But in the sign of Scorpio, these are things that are about transforming you. These are things that are beneath the surface that you need to explore. This can be very intense sexual encounters. Scorpio is about your sexuality and sex itself. So this could be a really interesting start to the week. And we still have both of these planets that are having another bit of conversation with Jupiter. Jupiter's energy is far-reaching. This is the largest planet out there in our little zodiac circle, and it has a large influence as a result. So it's still in opposition to Venus, having you question your values, and it is also speaking harmoniously still with Mercury. And again, the conversation between Mercury and Jupiter will get bigger, and it started last week. So what was coming up for you last week when Jupiter and Mercury were first talking? Because that too is a conversation that's now up for review during Mercury's retrograde, which will take us through till January 1st of 2024. So something you decide this week may impact your entire year. It may bring a huge change, a huge growth opportunity as a result. So again, Monday, very interesting day. We also have the sun in Sag getting ready for its new moon on Tuesday, with its exact in conjunct conversation with Uranus. So things might just be a little weird on Monday, and that energy will stay with us during the new moon on Tuesday and affect your new beginning. So let's take a look at Tuesday. With this new moon energy, it happens at about 4:30 in the afternoon if you're on Mountain Standard Time, which means the moon will be in complete darkness. And that means an emotional reset is possible. And it's a pretty fiery one. This isn't a fire sign. Sagittarius is a fast, big, powerful, forward-thinking, forward-moving, knowledge gainer. It just is like a voracious learner when you have strong Sagittarius energy. So there's the potential every time the sun and the moon meet for there to be a restart, a refresh, and it's our ego self and what we want, and our emotional self and what we want to feel that come together for this reset every month in a new sign. So this is about growth and expansion. Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, as I mentioned, during this new moon energy, will be having that still positive conversation with Mercury. So this really is about exploring your thoughts, your business plans, exploring your status, your career, right? And financially, because again, both of these signs, Taurus and Capricorn, have to do with finances. And Sagittarius has to do with growth. It also has to do with foreign countries, foreign places, foreign people. It's things that are outside of our local community. It is where we go to learn, to grow, to expand, to get outside of our own restrictions and see what else is out there. So you may have a need to really get something very different in your view that can carry you forward. Now, you also have Mars in this sign. So wherever you have Sagittarius energy in your chart, my guess is you have been super busy because Mars gives you the energy to tackle whatever needs to be tackled in your life. At the time of the new moon, it's starting to speak with Chiron. So this healing that you need to do, this thing that you need to think about and resolve from the past, you're going to feel motivated to do that throughout this week with the help of the energy of this new moon. Now keep in mind, your new beginning, because of the fact that Uranus is playing a part, and a kind of a weird, awkward part, can be something completely out of the ordinary for you. It can be a complete surprise. Uranus is a lightning bolt. It is a complete jolt to your system. So something very interesting and intriguing is playing a role in your new moon. Now, if you are one who works with me and follows me and you do new moon wishing, this is a time where you would set intentions to break free from whatever's holding you back and keeping you stuck. You want to make sure that you are really flexible in your wishing. It's not a time to be trying to stay stuck. So that is really, really interesting. And I will have a tarot card pull for every sign with more messages for this new moon in my YouTube shorts later today. All right, let's get back to Wednesday. So as the week progresses, we will see, of course, the sun will still be in the sign of Sagittarius, and the moon will have just dipped into Capricorn. When the moon's in Capricorn, we have a chance to take whatever those big fiery feelings were with that new moon and ground ourselves a bit more. So that will help steady us, which is a good thing. And then right at the time of this moon moving into Capricorn, we see Mercury going retrograde. So now, as I mentioned, Mercury will be retrograde in the sign of Capricorn so that you can review whatever was coming up for you over the past 3 weeks. Now, this happens at 8 degrees, which happens to be the number of the year 2024. This is a number of strength and leadership. Capricorn has to do with leadership as well. So we may be reviewing things that are going on with the government and our leaders over the next 3 weeks and maybe changing our mind on a few things. Maybe there will be more leadership shakeups as a result of this activity over the next 3 weeks as well. So very interesting topics of discussion for the next 3 weeks, which is the time it takes Mercury to complete its retrograde. And then, as I mentioned, on the first of the year, it will go forward. Now, Mercury will make it back into Sagittarius during its retrograde. So there is things to, again, relate to this new moon event as well. And by the time Mercury starts moving forward, you'll be clear on your direction and what you want to do. So that's some exciting energy to consider through the end of the year. So let's take a look at Thursday. On Thursday, what will happen is the sun is going to speak in harmony with our nodes of fate. So you have the sun speaking in a trine to the north node, which is our fate and our destiny. In the sign of Aries, it's about our strength and our independence, our fighting spirit, and what we want for ourselves. The biggest opportunity that we have when we're working on Aries and Libra with the South Node, where we're letting things go, is to truly understand balance and good boundaries. Not giving too much up of ourselves to make somebody else happy. That isn't healthy. That's being codependent. When we're working on our strengths, we're working on being able to create good boundaries in our lives and especially in our relationships, because Libra is about relationships. Now, Libra is also about law, it's about justice, and it really is about creating balance in our lives, and justice needs to be fair and balanced as well. So the sun is our success, right? It's our ego self. And there is something about our success this week that we can see some rewards, some fated events that occur that help us move forward with that Sagittarius energy. So this is a really interesting day, and it will last for a few days and may have been coming up even at the time of the new moon, since it was very close, only 3 degrees away from the North Node and South Node. If you want even more details about that new moon, I do have an article, and I'll have the link for that down below, where I explore more of the connections. But I don't want to be here with you all day, taking up all of your time, so you can read that for even more details. All right. The other thing that starts to get interesting here, and we'll just move ahead till Friday because it'll show it more easily, is Jupiter is going to move into the degree that we had the full moon lunar eclipse at the end of October. So with an eclipse, we're supposed to be releasing something fated. And in this, when it's lunar, it's something that can be emotional, an emotional letting go. It could have things to do with the moon, which represents motherhood and family and homes. The Taurus energy, again, is things that are grounded, things that we're determined about, that maybe we have to change our direction, change our mind, and let go. Ruled by Venus, love, money, beauty, the things that we buy, that we put value in. So something that isn't serving you, something that you've been really trying to understand since Jupiter first came here back, I think, mid-May. And now it's time, as Jupiter begins to slow down and expand on this energy and that eclipse. If there was something that you were supposed to be letting go and you haven't, you've been dragging your feet, maybe digging in like a stubborn Taurus, you won't be able to hang on to it for much longer. In fact, this is the time between now and the end of December where you really have something deep to contemplate, because it will sit here for the next 2 weeks. And I think it's still another week before it begins to move forward, but all sitting here at 5 degrees. And 5's about change. In numerology, 5 is about change. So that kicks off here. And while it does, maybe what you're changing is your ability to heal yourself, right? Chiron and Aries, heal thyself. That's the message. Don't keep hurting yourself, making choices that cause you pain. When it speaks in harmony with Mars, you can be very motivated to do healing work. So that's a pretty exciting day on Friday. As we move into Saturday, we'll see that Sun still speaking with the nose, and then it's having a bit of a tense conversation with Neptune. Neptune has ended its retrograde. It is very slowly moving forward. This is an outer planet. It only moves a few degrees every year in either direction, but now it's finally moving forward. So whatever you've been reviewing, wherever you have Neptune, and this is a very internal review, Pisces can be about spirituality, healing, arts, music, all of those things that exist beneath the surface that we have to bring out through our creativity. It is squaring with the Sun, our ego self. So the ego and what it wants is in conflict with maybe your spiritual goals. And so you have to figure out a way to bring these two things together. Neptune can be a bit foggy. And so I always find that once it is in any kind of square or opposition, you have to tune in and see how it affects you. But I find it helps clear the fog because there has to be a change in direction. You have to see where you've been deluding yourself. Have you been self-medicating? Are you drinking too much? The shadow side of Neptune and Pisces. Because Sagittarius is above all of that, and it doesn't tolerate the abuses. So there is something important to see on Saturday as these two square, and something in your life needs to change. And as we wrap up the week, that conversation between Mercury and Jupiter is getting a bit more intense. The Sun and Neptune are starting to move apart from one another. And then we have another activation of Chiron. And this time the Chiron energy, that's green lines mean in conjunct, and it's having a conversation with Venus in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio, hidden things, right? Things that are beneath the surface that with a little bit of love, you can transform and heal. So this can be a surprising relationship, an unexpected meeting with a woman who helps you heal unexpectedly. It's very interesting energy. Now, again, inconjuncts are unusual. They are at times difficult. So you have to figure out what this will mean for you, but definitely a gentle energy if you want to support yourself and your own healing. So it's a really, really intriguing week ahead with lots to learn. An important one for journaling, especially whenever Mercury goes retrograde. If you're not a normal journaler, do it when Mercury goes retrograde, right? Try to see if putting your thoughts down on paper doesn't help get you some clarity and gets them out of your head so you stop repeating them over and over and over and over again. There is some repeating we need to do, of course, during this retrograde, but it doesn't have to be painful thoughts in your head that you keep on repeat as kind of a way of self-sabotaging yourself. So set some good goals for yourself, like speaking clearly, and see what you can do to expand your horizons with that new moon in Sagittarius this week. And let me know. How is it going? Where do you need help? Do you need my help? I am here for it. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will look forward to celebrating you and your successes in the week ahead. I love when you guys drop comments and let me know how things are going. And we'll have one more session next week. And then it's going to be Christmas. Oh my goodness. Hope your shopping's going well. check out my specials, and I hope to connect with you. I do have a wonderful free worksheet for 2024 if you're a bit of an astrology fan and you know your chart. The form is blank so that you can fill it in and know where all of the activity will be happening for you next year. All right, let me know if you need help with any of that. You know where to find me, and if you want that in-depth session so I fill out with you and explain to you all of the events in 2024, I'm happy to do so. And the article for 2024 on my website has the link to that free worksheet for you. And it includes all kinds of resources in it. So it's really worth it. Even with little astrology lessons if you don't feel like filling it out. But it will give you the dates for all the new moons, all the full moons, all of the eclipses, and all of the big shifts and changes that will be happening to the planets next year, which is Pluto into Gemini and Jupiter into Gemini and Pluto into Aquarius, both air signs. So communication is a big deal in 2024. All right. Thanks so much. Wishing you all the best, and we'll talk next week.